Hi everyone. Today we have a guest with us who is recently placed in Capgemini for analyst role. In this session, he will be sharing his all the journey, what resources he followed, what strategy he used, so that it can help you for your placement too. Let's start with your introduction now. Sam, introduce yourself.
Firstly, thank you, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. Hi everyone. My name is Sam Saji, and I live in Mumbai, and I'm pursuing my final year in B.Tech or BE from Xavier Institute of Engineering, which is in Mumbai. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. It is tier 2 college or tier 3?
It's tier three college.
Tier 3. Okay, all right. This opportunity, Capgemini Exceller exam, was on campus opportunity or off campus?
It was on campus, ma'am, for us.
Okay, so what was the approximate date when Capgemini came to your college?
Okay, ma'am. So regarding that, I'll start from beginning, ma'am. So what actually had happened? We received a notification from our TPO on around 27th August in our TPO batch group that Capgemini is coming to our college for hiring. The official first date when the Capgemini HR came to our college and gave a pre-placement talk, that was on 25th September. And after the pre-placement talk, we had all the tests like technical tests, essay writing, etc. And like ma'am, talking about it was on 25th September.
Okay, 25th of September, they sent the official note that, okay, we are hiring. Okay, so what was the date of your exam, written exam?
Written exam was on 25th September.
Okay, okay, all right. So in that written exam, what were the sections, what questions they have asked, if you can tell in brief?
Sure, ma'am. Like we all know what actually happens in the standard test for Capgemini. The first test was the technical test, as usual. So there were two sections, ma'am. In that, firstly, there was this DSA section, and then there was this non-DSA section where there were some basic concepts related to cloud networking, etc. Talking about DSA, one thing which I noticed was that many questions related to predicting the output were there. There were at least 10 questions, 10 to 11 questions like that, and they covered many concepts like operators, etc. So this was the first test, ma'am, technical test, and it was like you have to clear the cutoff for both the sections in order to pass the technical test. So this was section one, which was there. After that, we had this essay writing test, which is also called as WET. So we were given a topic. So for me, it was how employees can handle mental stress. That was the topic which was given to me. And this test was actually conducted on CoCube's platform. So you even have to clear this. After this test was done, we had the game-based aptitude test. And then followed by that, we had the adapt essentials test. This adapt essentials was not a qualifying round. It was just that we had to give it. So these four tests were there, ma'am, for us.
Okay, so in that essay writing test, what I heard is like you cannot use the backspace. So if someone is writing, if there is some mistake, so how we can resolve that? If you can talk about it.
Mistake in the sense, ma'am, I didn't get it.
Like if someone mistyped some word and there is a prohibition of using backspace, so what will happen? Like how we can resolve this mistake?
Okay, yes, ma'am. So even I had this doubt, so I had clarified it from the Capgemini HR. He said that there is no limit, like you can enter backspace and it won't cause any reduction of marks. Even I was worried about the same, but he assured that you can use backspace any number of times and that would not cause in any reduction of marks. So if you have mistyped any word, you can always use the backspace and retype the word. There is no issue.
Okay, because every time I heard from the student about the same doubt, like, ma'am, what will happen? What will happen? So even I don't know that, like, what's the criteria for that. So one way I found is using control plus delete. That will not make any effect. So then and there itself, I shared this thing that you can use. So, but okay, if we can use backspace too. Okay, after your this written exam, when did you get the result that you have cleared written exam?
Okay, ma'am, actually, return test, we got the results on the same day itself. And again, it was conveyed to us on the TPO group itself, our official WhatsApp group. So
Okay.
I'll just tell you, ma'am, like what actually had happened. Our TPO gave us two lists. So one were the students which were going to directly appear for SVAR test, which is that English spoken assessment test.
Hmm.
And one was the set of students who had to first do the coding round, and then they would go for the SVR test. So I could not unfortunately get into the coding round, and I was directly shortlisted for SVR round.
Okay. So SBR role is for directly analyst role, right? Okay. So in that SBR role, what is the pattern like? What type of questions they asked?
Ma'am, it was basic like fill in the words and identify what type of grammar it is and whether there is any incorrect part in any statement. And then, ma'am, basic like there would be a computer generated audio and you'll have to repeat the same thing again. There would be variations in that. For example, computer is telling you that there is a sentence and you have to repeat that sentence by filling in the correct word. So there were many types of sentences like that. And there is one last question which is there in that section where they will give you a topic. They'll give you some time to 30 seconds to think about it, and you have to speak for 45 seconds on that topic. So that is
Okay.
how it was.
Okay. So now if coming on to that game-based aptitude, so how many questions from game will be there in your exam?
Okay, game based, ma'am, I don't exactly remember how many questions were there in that. But as far as I remember, like there are multiple types of challenges which are possible in that. So we have
Mhm.
this switch challenge, we have inductive reasoning challenge. So there are about seven, eight possible challenges. Out of that, any three can randomly get allotted to you.
Okay, okay.
So
All
for
right.
me, it was yeah. So for me, it was the switch challenge, digit challenge, and geo pseudo puzzle. I got those three puzzles.
Okay, yeah. Some days ago, also, I asked to one of my friend who is recently placed in Capgemini. So he told me that in Capgemini database, there are only 24 games. So you randomly get some questions from these games and then you have to attempt. This is how this
Yes, ma'am.
works. Okay. So, like, what was the total duration of this SBR round?
For SVR round. Ma'am,
Hmm.
there was no such limit. I think there was an upper hand limit, but mostly people finished it in 15, 20 minutes. That was enough.
Okay, okay, all right.
And they had
So,
given us, they had,
mhm.
yes, ma'am. They had also given us a window frame of one day. Like within one day, you can complete it anytime. It was like that.
Okay, okay. So from where did you prepare for your written exam as well as for SBR?
To be honest, ma'am, I only refer to your channel because I found yours was the first video. So when I had searched Capgemini preparation, I was worried. Yours was the first playlist which came. So you have this playlist called as Capgemini preparation. There are about 16 videos of them. So
Mhm.
from the very first video I had started, like you had explained how the Capgemini process is. So I had completely referred to all those videos, and especially you had some even interview experiences of other candidates. So that really helped me. And plus, you had also covered some previous questions. So I had completely, yours was the first source from where I was referring. But apart from that, if you talk about DSA and all, I had referred Geeks for Geeks, and some of my college notes when we had DSA back then. So I had referred DSA topics from there as well. And for game-based aptitude, ma'am, I would like to suggest to other students as well. There is this website called as technicalhub.io. So there we have this Capgemini game-based simulator where you can actually play the games. So yeah, I had played games there. So that gave me a very clear understanding on how to play game-based questions. So this is
The
how I
same
had prepared,
website
ma'am.
I have talked about in my videos as well. Two or three videos I
Yes,
had
ma'am.
called the
Yes.
name of it. Yeah. Actually, that website was shared by my friend only. In his college, they shared that in that website there are games. So he was also placed in Capgemini. So he shared me, hey Anshika, you can share in your channel. So it will be helpful. So that's why I shared, and it is really helpful because the actual games are there from itself only.
Yes, ma'am. Right.
Okay, so as per my knowledge, because everyone gets the opportunity to have a interview. But as you told me that you haven't gone through with any interview, so it was kind of surprising for me that how it's possible. So talk about this.
Okay, so ma'am, when we had got that, those two lists were given by our TPU. So I came to know that I'm shortlisted for SVA. And after SVAR, there was again one more list given that those who cleared SVR. So actually, I had misunderstood that that list was for people who cleared SVR, and my name was not there on that. So I was very depressed, thinking that how this is possible. Like I was very good, and my test even went very well. But so the only thing I had to do is I had to wait. I even asked my TPO. So my TPO said that just wait from for further clarification. Then there was one list which came for those who have to give the interview. Even in that, my name was not. So I had asked my TPO like how this is possible. So he had asked the Capgemini HR. Capgemini HR had said that they have some internal decisions where they can also take your CGPA and your resume into consideration to select you. And
Okay.
ma'am, what I feel, my personal belief is, for the other people who had the interviews, those interviews were just 15 minutes and they were very basic in nature. Like, I mean, I think for a 4.25 LPA job, like, I think even without interview, they can select you based on your resume and your CGP. Is what I feel. And even my TPO was agreeing with that. So, what I actually received was directly the LOI itself. So
Okay,
that's when
okay.
I came to know I was.
Yeah, that's like completely okay because companies has the right to select someone directly because it
Sure, sure.
might be a case that your exam score is also good, your resume is also good, and your CGP is also good. Then they don't feel that there is any need of interview, so that's why they have taken. But like it's I heard for the first time that without any interview you are selected, so that's why I was curious to know about this.
Okay.
Okay. So, apart from my channel, if you can suggest some resources, because what I found in written exam, the primarily they focus on is DSA, like pseudo codes are based on DSA itself, like some loop concept, wise operator, etc. But for other subjects, if you can suggest some another channel or some another like resource, because some people say that ma'am, will this 16 videos are enough? So according to me that's are enough because I have completely told everything in that way you can prepare, and I have shared some resources that are exclusive. But still, if you can suggest something, so what will.
Okay, so ma'am, recently only towards the end of third year only I came to know like learning DSA and advanced DSA is very important. So the very first playlist I started, there is this playlist from Shraddha Kapra ma'am. She has a playlist. So there she has taught DSA like practically, like we can go and solve. She even explains lead code problem solutions, etc. So I was even referring to that. So ma'am, I would say DSA the best resource like if you want to start for beginners, for intermediate, advanced. That source is very good, ma'am. Like Shraddha ma'am's playlist is good for DSA. Then talking about cloud and networking, ma'am, you can just first you have to try to understand what are the type of concepts which are asked in tests. Like for example, cloud, all these types of free services as there, infrastructure as a service, software as a service, platform as a service, etc. So you just go and you can Google it out, and there are multiple solutions now. Like for example, as I had mentioned, these, etc. There are some top companies like Amazon. Even they on their official website have details related to that. So, ma'am, that's what I did. I just searched the concepts and then found the most best website to learn from them. So that is how I had done. And apart from that, ma'am, as I had said that if you are a person who is making proper notes in your college, you can also refer to notes which is given by teachers. Because I had fully just referred what was taught in college. So we had this subject called as networking and cloud computing in semester six. So I had referred to those notes, ma'am, before going, and that really helped me a lot.
I know personally one college that like because the students are connected with me, so they sent me that ma'am, my TPU sent your notes to learn. I think wow.
Okay.
So it was quite surprising, but I found like I was happy with that. That okay, somebody is sharing. Like TPU itself is sharing my notes to prepare. So like from their college itself, there was 75 students like selected for the interview. But now I don't know that how many has finally selected, but 75 was selected for interview. Anyways, because like interview, if someone has, so they can talk more about it, that okay, this was my experience, this was my experience, but that was so surprising. Anyways, after how many days did you get the offer, sorry, LOI, after your
So, ma'am,
SDR?
LOI actually, so as I had said that my test was like around 25th September. Yeah, it was on 25th September. I had received the LOI on 4th December, like just 5 days back.
Okay, okay. So after that,
So,
you will be getting joining letter also.
yes, ma'am. So we have this, I received that LOI mail. In that it was said that I have to do the document verification, etc. The last
Mm-hmm.
date for that is 10, so they give you about 6 days to upload all the documents. And then we would, I think, I guess, get the offer.
Okay, okay. So, all right. Now, if you want to suggest something like throughout the journey, there were some challenges, there was some learning. So, what you will suggest for upcoming freshers so that they can prepare accordingly?
Okay. So, ma'am, challenges, I would like to share one important challenge which I faced. So, one thing is, ma'am, game-based aptitude. Like, once I had started game-based aptitude, like, it was very difficult for me because I had never seen any type of assessment or aptitude like that before. But
Mm-hmm.
then, ma'am, just the thing is that the more you get to practice, uh, like, you keep getting better at it. So what I had done is, so I had taken totally just 20 days to prepare for Capgemini. And as I said, I had started with your channel. So firstly, I went, saw through your playlist, went particular to the game-based aptitude session. First, I understood what it is, what they're trying to ask and assess you based on. And then based on that, you find sources where you can practice them. So, ma'am, initially what was happening is I was referring to some other YouTube videos as well for game-based aptitude where they had shared solutions. Just by looking at that, ma'am, it becomes little difficult. Like you have to try to
Mm-hmm.
practice within that time constraint. Then only you'll be able to go and perform there. So that was really possible. So as I had mentioned, this technical bio.com, that simulator which was there, that was giving a time constraint which is way lesser than the time which is given in the actual exam.
Mm-hmm.
So when I had done that, that actually helped me gain more confidence on game based. So ma'am, I would suggest that game based should be practiced more. So because game based people also many people find it very difficult. And it's like ma'am, the level keeps on increasing. So maybe you can clear the basic levels, but as and when it becomes time constraint is also there, it becomes like a very pressurized scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the challenges which was there, ma'am. Then second thing which I had faced of other students who do, like my colleagues, they most of them got filtered out in this essay writing test. Like I believe there were about some 40 students, and at the end there were only 25 students approx. 15 students
Mm-hmm.
got filtered out in that essay writing itself, mainly because of grammar issues, etc. So I would suggest that if you're going, just read. Like, don't we can't predict what topic is coming there, but at least if we can know how to write essay in a very organized way, introduction, body, conclusion, like what to write, that would actually be very helpful, ma'am. And apart from that, ma'am, DSA also is little bit challenging, but the questions which were asked were not that advanced, ma'am. It was just basic. So I would
Mm-hmm.
suggest that if, like, especially in your channel also, you have some PYQs which were covered. So if one goes through that properly and gets a clear idea of what is asked, he knows the basic DSA, then
Mm-hmm.
you're good to go.
Yeah.
Apart from
The
that, ma'am,
main, yeah, yeah, continue.
no, ma'am, I was saying apart from that, I didn't find any other challenge.
Okay, okay. The main idea like is because the every round is an elimination round, so you have to give the priority to each of the section. You can't skip anything that okay, I will do this later or I will just skip it. So you can't cross for the next because that if we talk about my friend, so he personally didn't was not so much dedicated for essay writing, and at last when he got to know that this is an elimination round, so he come to me, hey, please suggest me something. So I told him that there is a cheat sheet provided by me, there are 25 essays, go through with that and then you will be able to write your essay. So luckily he got the same topic from their cheat sheet itself, so he write very well. Yeah. So, but
Yeah,
again, if somebody is finding some new, so that cheat sheet is kind of in such a way that you will be having the idea in what way you have to write. So, obviously, you have to write in your own way, and the topic should be in your mind also. So you have to brushing up yourself as well for these topic asked that are recently asked, because they can ask from any area, like from like moral, from games, from anything like politics even. So we should be aware of each of the things that what is happening. Okay, so like it was really nice that you haven't faced any experience, and it's kind of a proud, okay, by seeing your CV only they are hiring you. Yeah. Anyways, all the best for your journey in Capgemini, and if you are preparing for another opportunity, so go for that. Like try to get more and more, and like until and unless you are not joining, because there is so much time left with you, so in that time make sure to focus on your problem solving skills and some development based skills, and try to achieve like a good package.
ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much for your time. It was really a nice session with you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.